I will start by telling you the story of this lady who was born by a single teenage mother, raised in poverty to the extent they had to make her clothes with potato sacks. Because of that, other children ridicule and abuse her. You can imagine her facing abuse and trauma whilst she was growing up. Due to the deprivation and lack, she lived with different family members who also abused her. To cut the long story, she moved and started living with her father, who, under his strict supervision, she began to excel in school. Oprah Winfrey break came in 1983 when she moved to Chicago. Soon, Oprah Winfrey became a media mogul, launching her own production company. She became one of the world's wealthiest and influential women. That brings me to why you should never confuse your behavior or experience with your worth. I'm going to talk about 3 reasons why you keep confusing your real worth with your behavior or experience. Number 1, you keep having a revision of your past instead of having a vision. The most common thing that makes people to devalue or not understand who they are is because of their past experience. That you were raped, tortured, or maltreated doesn't make you worth less. I'll give you an instance. If you give someone who does not understand the value or worth of gold a gold bracelet, he or she might end up treating it anyhow. The person can even put it in the bin, in the toilet, in the kitchen sink, due to the fact that he or she doesn't understand value. But when that gold is given to someone who understands its value, its treatment will be different. A lot of people were treated this way in the past by people who doesn't understand their worth or who doesn't see anything in them because of their lack of knowledge and ignorance. And so because of that, they begin to see themselves as worthless. That, I tell you, was just an experience that you had. That doesn't make you worthless. I believe you also recognize this lady. Her name is Joyce Meyer. When she was younger, her father raped her severally. Her mother found out and still didn't do anything about it. Today, she speaks to millions of people. I watch her almost every day. So she could have said, I was raped. My father is the devil, and continue to blame. Of course, what her father did was highly devilish. When you begin to give excuse, it excludes you. Stop giving excuse. That you were treated badly or dehumanized by someone else does not make you of less value. Before I proceed, I'd like you to subscribe to my exquisite channel by graciously clicking the subscribe button below. Our subscription is absolutely free. Welcome to Level Up with Coach Irene. For some others, they didn't live a good life in the past. They were actually self-destroying themselves. And so when they remember their past, they tend to see themselves as worthless. I'd like you to remember someone who wrote most of the book of the New Testament. His name was Paul. He was actually someone who was killing the Christians until he changed. And he became a soul winner. No matter what your past is, whether good or bad, you have to forget it. Yeah, and forgetting is a gift from God. God gave us that ability so we can forget about the past and press forward. No matter what has happened to you in the past, whether you had a great past, you had a bad past, there is more for you. Your past does not tell you your worth. It is your potential, what you can achieve as an individual, which was what God saw in Paul. His potential to win more souls and to write most of the New Testament we are reading today. So, did you experience a great past or a terrible one? No matter what it was, you have more and better things. But when you begin to revision or revisit what has happened, you will never be able to fulfill your vision. Your constant meditation and reminder of your past is what is making you see yourself as worthless or as somebody who is not worthy enough. Start thinking about your future. And one thing you must do is that you need to start taking responsibility. Train yourself, just like Oprah Winfrey. Don't just sit there and begin to think. Take actions. Your past is past. Think about the future. The past, no matter how long, can never come back. But the future is coming. And that is what will build your self-worth. Take responsibility and stop the blame game. If you continue to blame those who treated you badly, you might never see a reason to take responsibility. Take responsibility for your life and start working on yourself to become who you ought to be. Number two reason a number of individuals confuse their experience or behaviors with their worth is because they once failed. My goodness. Failure is part of success. Every successful person you see today once failed. If you don't fail, how would you learn? In fact, you should be scared when you're not failing because soon you're going to be proud. So failure is part of success. Your past failure is not a guarantee that you will fail again. I'll tell you about my relative who was failing whilst he was in primary school. Then one of his brothers decided to teach him and he started learning. The moment he started learning how to read and mastered how to read, he started reading more than everyone else. He became the top 5 in his class in the university. And up to today, he's doing excellently well in his field. But he was once a terrible failure. I also experienced failure one time or the other. But I didn't let that pull me down. So that you failed trying something is not a guarantee that you are going to fail again. In fact, you've become better. Have you tried doing something and you failed and you tried again? It gets better. It's just like a child trying to work. Oh, the child should have given up at the first try or say, I'm never going to work. They keep trying. For some others, they are struggling with a particular habit. That you are struggling with a particular habit does not make you worthless. Because you can decide to come out from that habit. And you can only do that when you are learning things and unlearning what you already know. Therefore, to stop a negative habit, you have to master something else that is more powerful than it. For instance, if you're someone that like eating junk food, snacks, small chops, and all these sugary products, you can replace that habit by replacing those items with fruits. This way, you have replaced that habit with something more healthier. When you do this, you will take in responsibility. Therefore, no matter the habit or behavior you're struggling with, it doesn't determine your worth. The fact is, there is always something you can do about it. So don't say you're not worth it just because of a behavior that you can change. Number 3 reason why you confuse your experience or behavior for your worth is because of your achievement. Your mindset is the problem. A number of people view themselves by their achievements. And because you always check other people's achievements, you are doing the same to yourself. You check someone's achievement and you say, yes. If the person is not achieving, you say the person is a failure. God in heaven that created you never evaluates you by your achievement. I have a house, I have a car, I am married, I have 2 children, I have 5 million in my bank account, I'm a billionaire. That does not determine your worth. I'll tell you for free that a number of people who are billionaires are still struggling with their self-esteem. Money or achievement will not make you to feel worthy. You have to first see yourself as someone who is valuable. You have no replacement on earth. You were 1 in a billion. There is nobody in this world that is a mistake. Before you came, you were predestined by God. So your worth is not in your achievements. It's a plus. If you achieve everything in life and you never fulfilled your purpose on earth, it's nothing. Someone's purpose might just be to raise a particular child. So your worth is not in having the whole world. You have to first recognize that there is no one like you on earth. And what you brought on earth, no one else brought it. You have great potentials in you. And it is your responsibility to start taking actions for your life. You are worth more than anything in the world. I'd like to conclude by saying, keep improving on yourself. Keep learning and unlearning. Forget about the past. No matter what you've acquired in the past, there is more for you. No matter the bad experience you had in the past, there is more for you. I believe you've gained value. I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.